Welcome back. So today I'm going to go ahead and walk you through your final project. So this final project is going to take place of any kind of final exam or test. And basically it's a way to wrap up everything you've done, put all of those incredible projects that you've worked so hard on into this final portfolio that you can then share with family. Take a moment to reflect on how you've grown and have something cool to keep, even if you end up giving away art or misplacing art. Hopefully you don't, but it's possible. You can always look back at this. So here are your instructions. I'm actually having both my design and draw and graphic design do it, so I'll show you examples of both. But similar setup. So when you go to do it, I suggest using Wix. I think it's an awesome free version of building your own website. And it's got a lot of really interesting formats and layouts that you can start with and then just personalize. That works pretty well. If you're more comfortable with Google Sites, you're welcome to do that. Weebly works really well as well. So there's lots of different options, and I'm not going to make you stick to one, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to show you the one that I feel like, in my experience, has worked the best and walk you through what that looks like. So before we jump in, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to show you a couple examples that I created to show you. These are both created on Wix, and I created them over the last couple days. So here it is. Here's my website. This is my graphic design portfolio. I decided to have some fun with it, use an interesting pattern as the background. And then, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see. So I've got all of my different imagery right here, my different graphic design projects that you can easily click on, or you can click on the image, and it's really cool that Wix does this, to where I can see those a little bit closer up. And I've got like a name over here. I could also write about it if I wanted to. And then it just brings me back here. Now, not only are you going to include images of your artwork, but you also need to include answers to 3 different prompts reflecting on how the class has gone, how you've grown as an artist, where you're coming from. And so that's what I have here at the bottom. For this one, I decided to just put it all on one page, which is an option, or you can make multiple pages. But I thought, because this doesn't take up too much room, I'll just put it all on one page. So here's me responding to these. This first one's introducing myself. So I think it's nice to add some graphics down here. Talking about how was I feeling prior to the class, and then what was my favorite project, and would I continue on? And I'm showing, yes, I do actually do this in my own time. And so this is it. This is the whole thing. Okay, so that's one example. Another one, I created a design and draw one as well. And so this has a similar setup to start. It's got these little arrows, except for I think I'm in the way, to be able to go through different projects. But I also created different pages. So I have my reflection page with the answers to my questions. And then I have like an artwork page where I can see the art a little bit clearer. And I can, once again, click on it and scroll through. So everything's here. Let's look at what all that entails when you're going to make yours. Okay, so in order to figure out what it entails, I've broken it down into our 5 art cognitive skills that you guys have been grading yourself on this entire semester. And so we have craftsmanship, creativity, skill application, growth, and self-reflection. And I paired those together because those both work together for your artist reflection part. In each of these, I give you a hopefully very clear to-do list of what you need to do in order to get those points. And then I have how many points everything is worth. So clearly label and organize everything makes sense for craftsmanship, making it clean, easy to read. So things you should label. And if I were you, I would either take a snip of this and kind of cross it off that way or print it out so that you can make sure that you label your name, the course's name, the year, and hopefully you remember seeing that on the front page of both of mine. The artwork I labeled as well. You should have your reflection section labeled, and then for the purpose of keeping it organized, keep all the fonts, colors, design choices consistent. So like I picked a main font that I used for all of my main headers, and then I used a different font for all of the text. And I tried to make sure that those two fonts are contrasting so that it's easy to see the difference and you've got a clear style and it's consistent and professional. For creativity, creativity is going to be shown through your design choices. So when you first get started, you're going to choose a layout to start with. Make sure you're choosing one that works, that's interesting, that's appropriate for your portfolio, and like really push yourself, go for one that's going to be cool and different, not just pictures and your name at the top, okay? Choose a color scheme that reflects your personality. I tried to show that in my examples, especially the graphic design one. I chose like a pattern that I put in the background that's bright and fun and looks like some of the artwork that's in my house. And so I wanted to reflect the things that I like. Yours could potentially look completely different. In fact, I hope it does. I hope it reflects your personality. Same with choosing fonts that reflect your personality, so not just using like Arial or Times New Roman for everything. Organize everything in an interesting way. So kind of, you saw there were different options on how to organize it. And then add your own special touches, such as like when I added like a picture of myself drinking coffee and then the work that I'm working on, or extra artwork. All right, for skill application, this is where you kind of have to start, and that is just accumulating all of the different images that you need. So you need to have at least 5 projects. And here's the list to remind you. This is the graphic design one, so the design and draw one looks a little different. So you should have those images either maybe still on your phone if you took a picture of it that way. But even if you don't have it on your phone or something, you should have it where you turned it in to Schoology. And so you should be able to go back in there, and even if you just like right click save as for that image, that should work. If not, you can, I mean, even a snip of it will work, but preferably we have a nice clear image for each thing. And then I want you to include at least 2 practice assignments or additional things. So for those, that could be any little assignment we've done, but also anything you've done on your own, additional images or sketches, or like I created a logo for our lead outlet, and so I threw that one on there. I did like a sketch of my daughter, and I did something in my sketchbook, so I threw those on there. And so anything that you can add at least 2. And then you need to answer, and I want you to really be thoughtful about these. You saw how much I put into mine. If I jump back, I did put quite a bit of thought into my reflections. And feel free to go and like read what I put in reference for each of these. And hopefully that'll help you when you're answering your prompts. So there are 5 different prompts. So make sure you read through those and choose 3 of them that you feel like you can do a really good job answering and reflecting on. Okay, and you'll get 10 points per prompt. And so that is those are all the things that you need to include. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump into Wix, and I'm going to get out of these. So I'm starting fresh, and I'm going to create a new one. In fact, I think I'm going to log out so you can see what it's like to just log in. If it lets me. It might not let me. Okay, so it might not let me. So you can just log in with your Google account, make sure you do the free one, and then click on My Sites, and you're just going to create a new site. Okay, so now it gives you some options. What kind of website do you want to create? So I've kind of browsed some of these. Designer website works really well for this. You probably don't want to do like an online store or something because it's already going to have all these extra buttons and things connected if you wanted to like buy stuff. And probably not selling anything off this website. And so I would say designer. Portfolio is of course appropriate. Photography can work really well, but it does have this thing that's like where you could connect on photo albums. And if you want to get rid of it, it's kind of a pain. And so you just have to delete the page, but you have to know that ahead of time. So I would suggest probably one of these two. In fact, I'm going to go to portfolio. I'm going to choose a template. You can start just basic and it'll create one for you, but I like to be a little more in control, so I like to choose a template. So here are some different portfolios that I could start with. There's even a graphic design one right there. So I can think about how I want to make it. And I think I want to do this one. You can view it. Cool. I don't need that. I don't need merge, but I do like the colors. It's got a lot of extra stuff I don't need. So let's keep looking. Let's do this one. So this one's just got like a big main page and then like the different other pages. That could work. Let's do it. So I'm going to click edit. It's going to start building it for me, and then I get to personalize it with all of my different images. Make sure you have your images prepared and organized. So I already have mine in my different folder ready to go, which is going to make it a lot easier if you just upload all of them at the same time. And so here is how it looks when you jump in. Couple main things you need to know. So here are like your main options. You can look through and toggle through like different pages and add pages or address different ones. Honestly, the easiest way to do that though is to go to manage pages and adjust there. So I'm going to do that really quick. So I have my home, which is good. My about, I'm going to rename that, and I'm going to call that my artist reflection. And it looks like it's doing all capitals, so I think I'm going to stay true to that. Done. See how easy that is. And then I'm going to edit this one. I'm going to call this one my artwork. And then I don't need these other pages because our site's pretty simple. It's only got the main two things. So I'm just clicking on that and deleting it. Delete. And so now I am all set up with my site menu. I can always go back here and go to manage pages if I want to do that. So for my background, currently, this is my background. I don't actually want that background at all. So I can look at the ones they have here. I can do it based on color if I wanted to. That's kind of fun. So I can click on it and see, or what I did with my other one is I actually found an image I really liked and then I applied it. You could also apply like video if you wanted, which is kind of fun. But so let's see. I think I'm going to use one of the ones they have, just because they have lots of really cool options. These textures are pretty cool. I'm going to search paint because I like to paint. That's my favorite. And see, I'm not going to filter by textures. I'm just going to do images in general. Not the kind of painting I was thinking. But you know what? I kind of like, I'm just going to pick one. I kind of like this abstract paint one. So I'm going to change my backgrounds. Yeah, that looks cool. I'm satisfied. And I'm going to just go ahead and apply it to my other pages as well, because I want it all to be consistent. So I could have different ones, but part of what I'm looking for in the craftsmanship is that everything's really consistent. So once I've done that, then I can start editing within here. I don't necessarily need this here. I think this might be a good spot. If I double click on the text, I can type in there. This actually might be a good spot for me to put 2020. And I think that would be kind of interesting right there. Here, the color is, let's adjust the design a little bit. So notice you just toggle over things and you can figure out like what's what. And so I can play with the design of this. And I can customize it by doing like a different fill. So maybe, I think it looks okay. There, that looks way better. So I just kind of changed it to that to change it up. Cool, cool. Now I'm going to come down here. I'm going to adjust the main title part. So I'm going to double click on the text and I'm going to change it. Your name should be the most important. I'm going to double click and I'm going to do and then down here I'm going to do we'll do all capital. Actually, you know what? I think I want this to be lowercase. Portfolio. So that covers quite a few things I had to label. So I had to label my name, I had to label the year, and I had to label like what class it's for. And so all those things are now covered. However, they're really hard to see right now, and so I need to adjust the color. So as I'm hovered over it, notice all I did was double click and this text settings came up. Also, it gives you the answer to or the option to click here to edit text, but it already popped up. So I can adjust the size. I can adjust a lot of different things. I think I want this to be more scripted. So I want more of like a handwritten part right there. But now it's really hard to see. And so I'm gonna make it bigger. And then I'm gonna change the color so we can actually see it. So here's where the color is. And I think maybe this like light gray is really pretty. So now I'm gonna double click on my name. I'm gonna play with the font there. A little trick is to note which fonts you're using. So when you go to different pages, you remember, and you can be consistent with that. And so I'm trying to do like scripted for one part, and then, I'm trying to do something a little like more professional. We'll do, okay, that one's a little bit better. Well, let's keep playing. A lot of this is just plain, as you can see. It's kind of fun, but not really looking good with the other one. So there we go. That looks a little bit better. And so now I'm going to change the color, and I think I'm going to do this like darker green, so it goes with the other part. And I'm going to change this. So I'm going to look and see, what was the text I used? Mr. de Havilland. And I'm going to repeat that so that I'm consistent. I don't like the all capital with this font, so I'm just going to change that. And I'm going to change it so it's the same color as my other part. And then I can also adjust the size as well. Once I've done that, I can move things around just to kind of make it a little prettier. I think I'm going to make my name a little bigger. Except for I don't want it to be on that part. Perfect. And maybe I'm going to like kind of play with where things are. So maybe I'm going to do that here. And I could even put this down here as well. Or I could do this up here. Or I could just get rid of that because I already have 2020. See, that's just playing. So all I do is click on it and I click delete and then it goes away. Okay. Do I like it in the middle? I'm good. I like it. I'm done. So here is my first page. Every once in a while, click save up here. Oh, it is going to ask you to like create a domain. Do not connect to a personalized domain because that would cost money. So I'm just going to call this design and draw ports. Save and continue. And I am good. I'm going to continue. Done. I don't need to publish it yet. So here's my first page. Whenever you work on a page and you feel like you're in a good spot, go ahead and click this little eye up here, your preview, and you can see what it looks like. So looks pretty good. I'm going to go back to editor. And now I'm going to pop into these different pages. So in order to get into my artist reflection page, I first have to then click on artist reflection. It's already got some things in here. So I could either click on that and change things out, or I can delete stuff if I don't want it. And I can just double click and you can just go in and choose the prompt that you want to use. Control C to copy. Double click on that. Control V to paste. And then I can just like edit the text. And so I think I used railroad. Maybe it's robotic. I think that's it. And I can adjust the size. I can make it like the same color as the other one to kind of match. That's looking pretty good. I can adjust where these things are. I can add things, so I can easily add a photo. So plus, and then this is where you can just add just about anything. So I'll do plus, and then I'll go to my images. It gives you a lot of options. It's got like free ones down here from like, well, most of them are free. If I want to do that, but usually I just upload my own. And so if I upload from my computer, I think that one's saved in my other. I can go to my folder or wherever I've saved a picture. Here we go. I can open it. It's uploading. And then I can adjust it. I can crop it. I can change the name right here. So me, Kelsey, art at work. I'm saying Kelsey because this is my personal one I'm pretending. And then I can add it to the page and then you can see it's giant. Wow, look at those forehead wrinkles. I'm gonna make it way smaller. And then you notice on one of them, I did like a cool cropping thing. So if you click on crop, it gives you a ton of really cool options. So I can do something kind of fun with that. I don't know, some of these really not great, but Maybe I want to do, I usually just do the circle. Sorry guys. I just like it, it's clean. And it works. And then I can answer that prompt and then I can just do the same thing. So I can Control Shift and then Control C to copy, Control V. So I can just copy and paste this on again and then just change the question and change my response and do that. If you need more room, notice if you hover over like the end of a page, you can just pull that down and adjust it. And so hopefully you're getting the hang of this and it's looking pretty simple. Usually you just kind of have to look around for what you need. And usually if you hover over things, it gives you options. So that's kind of nice. Let's preview it real fast and see how this page is looking. Looks fine. So I'm going to save and done. And I'm going to go back to editor. And so now I'm going to show you how to do your artwork part. So in order to get to that part, I can't just click on it up there. I have to come up to my pages and change where I am. Here I am. It's already got a big picture, a bunch of big pictures on there. So I could use this and just add those in, but I'm going to delete that gallery. And I suggest clicking on add and then going to the gallery. And it's got a bunch of different options. So you can see some of them move, which is fun. There's sliders, there's grids. There's slider grids. Ooh, this one's fun. Maybe I'm gonna do the circle one. Ooh, I like this. Honeycomb. There's so many different options, guys. So play with this, find one you like. We're going for it. Fit it in there. So, and I'm gonna call this, I'm gonna double click on that, art work. Really got creative with that name. I'm gonna find the same font that I used before. And so I believe I was using this one. And I'm gonna change the color again for consistency. And I'm also gonna make it bigger and in the middle. So I'm gonna put it in the middle and I'm going to make it bigger. Oop, it didn't go in the middle, so I'm gonna try again. Edit text. Middle. It doesn't want to go in the middle. I'm gonna delete this paragraph, so I don't necessarily need that. I guess if it doesn't want to go in the middle, I can always just move it that way. There you go. Something starts to be tricky. Sometimes the best option is just to outsmart it and move things around. All right, so I'm gonna drag and pull this so it fills up most of the space. Kind of fun. And now I can, as I'm clicked on it, it gives me the option to change images. So I'm gonna click on that. And that brings me back to where I was before. Now, the first thing I have to do is I have to get rid of their images. I don't want their images. So the fastest way to do, you can either hover over and just remove image that way, or I can click on the first one, hold down Shift, click on the last one. Oop, I wasn't clicked. Maybe. It's not letting me, although I know I just did this on the last side I did. It's probably something with my computer. Okay, you can always just do this, but if you click on those, then you can also just go like add new images, or usually there's an option to like delete all the ones you're clicked on, but it's not giving me that option. So I'm just doing this. And then I'm ready to add images. And I'm going to upload those from, you can do it from your Google Drive, or I'm doing it from my computer because I've saved all of mine. So here they all are. Shift and click, open. And so I looked at my list to make sure that I had everything, and I know I'm good. Okay, complete it. Now I don't need this one again. So I'm just going to click on it and then I guess I'm not going to delete it because it's on a different part, but I'm not going to add it to this page. So I am going to rename these because one of the things I'm looking for with craftsmanship is that everything's labeled. And so you want to just name it right in here. You can't go back, like you have to be in this part to be able to name those. So I'm going to call this, this is my hand lettered quote. This one, notice it just automatically takes the name of the file, which is fine. It's pretty close for this one. It's realism. This is like a little practice one. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Shift. Now it's working for that. Oops, it gives you the option if you want to like edit things like that, you can. But I'm just going to hold down Shift. I'm going to get rid of this one because I just realized I have it at the bottom too. Cut. All right. Shift, and then I'm going to add to gallery. Wow, remove that. There we go. Always fun. Okay, so everything's here. I suggest putting your favorite ones in the front. I like that one, so I'm okay with it. And then make sure the titles are all there the way you like it. You can describe them as if you want to as well. That can always add a little something. And then when you're done, you can just click done and they all appear. Pretty cool. They're cropped in, so they look kind of funny in this. So if you decide you don't like the design that you picked, you can always go to settings and like change out like different images or where they are, or you can go to layout and you can kind of change it there. So I can make it like that, which I think works a lot better. I can adjust the columns, which I think also works a little bit better. I can also adjust the spacing, which I think is fine. And so you've got some options there, or you can just delete that and add a different one and adjust it. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and save it and then preview. Cool, so as you see, you can hover over it, you can click on them, and it does the same thing that my last couple ones did. It does this automatically with the names. So we can see the full images, even if those images are cut off in, even if they're cut off in here, okay? So play with that, get it exactly the way you like it. When you're totally done, click Save, back to Editor. And then the last step is to publish it. So let's click on that. So if you're ready to publish, you're gonna click on Publish. It's pretty easy to do. And I'm good to go. This is my website. So I like to just view the site, make sure it looks okay, make sure I can click through everything. Cool. Once I like it, I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to paste this link into Schoology into the final product when I turn it in. So, and you don't have to complete a full self-reflection in Schoology for this because you've already completed your reflection in your website. So I'm so excited to see these. As you can see, I just did an entire one. I still need to respond to a couple prompts, but otherwise I did the whole thing right here in this video. So hopefully it's not like a huge thing that you have to do at the end of the semester. That is not the point, but this is a great way for you to be able to showcase all of your hard work. And this is the last thing you have. So once you're done with this, once you have submitted your final link to your portfolio website, then you're done. And it was great having you. Let me know if you need anything. Bye.